Now on Coast TV News.
Hate text, racist messages hitting phones across the country targeting black and brown people. Details on the investigation. Tram trouble. Ocean City's popular boardwalk ride may be gone for good after tragedy struck this summer. And lighting up the night in Maryland, the town of Berlin hosted a walk with glow sticks and other light-up gadgets.
And we have a chilly night ahead of us and a rather cool start to the weekend, but I am tracking measurable rain. Would you look at that, right? We desperately need it, and I'll break down the latest timing of that rain coming up.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Good Friday evening. I'm Christina DeRobertis. Welcome to Coast TV News at 11. We begin tonight with a disturbing string of text messages reaching people across the country. Kids, college students, and other adults in more than a dozen states have been receiving racist text messages, and it's sparking federal and local investigations. Reporter Brian Abel has more on the investigation and how recipients are reacting.
My first reaction was kind of like shock.
Talia Jones received a racist text Wednesday afternoon telling her that she had been selected to pick cotton on a plantation. Officials say other black and brown people received similar texts. The sender has not yet been identified.
There's no way that it's 2024 and things like this are happening again. And it's just insane, like the level of disrespect that people have for other humans.
In more than 20 states, kids, students, and adults getting the text. Some saying that slave catchers will pick them up in a van. One variation of the message saying it's from an associate of President-elect Donald Trump.
I am one of Donald Trump's associates, and your cotton picking sessions are from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m.
In a statement, a spokesperson for Trump's campaign says the campaign has absolutely nothing to do with these texts. The NAACP's president reacting to the texts, saying these messages represent an alarming increase in vile and abhorrent rhetoric from racist groups across the country, who now feel emboldened to spread hate and stoke the flames of fear that many of us are feeling after Tuesday's election results. The FCC joining some state attorneys general in investigating the source of the text.
I received the text at like 2 p.m. on Wednesday, so not even a full 24 hours after we got the election results. So I feel like this was something that was definitely premeditated.
In Washington, Brian Abel reporting.
The company Text Now says that at least some of the texts were sent through its accounts in which the company believes, quote, is a widespread coordinated attack. The FCC joining some state attorney generals in investigating the source of these messages. New tonight, the Delaware House Republican Caucus has elected its leadership for the upcoming legislative session. Laurel Representative Tim Dukes has been named the new House Minority Leader. Dukes was first elected in 2012. He steps into the role following Mike Ramone's departure to run for governor. And Smyrna Clayton Representative Jeff Spiegelman, he's been chosen as the new House Minority Whip. The two will lead the Republican caucus of 14 members in the state house. Over at Cape Henlopen State Park, there's a brewing controversy over plans for the McBride bathhouse. On your screen now is the current conditions of the bathhouse. DenRec says it was built in 1976 and it has not seen any significant upgrades since then. New plans would put a new facility on a dune just a few hundred feet away, but this plan has one local environmental group raising questions.
Here, it would impede the view of the researchers at the Hawk Watch. They need kind of unobstructed 360. The hawks are coming from all directions. The Great Dune is right down here, and they need to spot them as they come over that dune.
We've reached out to DenRec about these plans, but we're told the department would not comment. And this brings us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how should Cape Henlopen State Park balance development? Let's take a look at the results. So far, most people saying protect the environment. That has been the most popular answer all night. Below that, people saying focus on maintenance, expand visitor amenities, and limit new buildings. And if you haven't voted yet, we still want to know what you think. Head over to coasttv.com or use our mobile app. Heading down to Ocean City now after a tragedy that ended in the death of a small child this summer. The Boardwalk tram, it may not be coming back next year. We want to emphasize that nothing is set in stone right now, but town officials confirmed today the future of the tram service does not look good. The popular attraction has been out of service since August following an accident where a 2-year-old child was hit and killed. There is a pending lawsuit regarding that accident, according to the town manager. And according to the Georgetown Fire Company, there was an outside fire on South King Street today. This fire happened around 6:20 a.m. Friday morning. No details of how it started or if anyone got injured just yet. And this comes as the dry conditions on Delmarva continue and there is a fire weather warning. Let's take a live look outside now into Ocean City and bring in our first alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono for a look at the weather. Hey there, Chris.
Hey there, Christina. Yeah, we had another beautiful day on Delmarva, another dry day at that. We are seeing some pleasant conditions this evening. A chilly night ahead of us, though. Right now we're holding at 62 in Ocean City, and boy, it really hasn't felt much like fall over the last 3 days. Look at that, 77 on Tuesday. We had 80s Wednesday, Thursday. Now today we saw highs in the 70s. We had 71 Ocean City, 72 Georgetown, 74 Wallop Islands, and 70 in Cambridge. Now, despite the fire warnings being canceled, we are still seeing fire conditions tomorrow. Bone dry, low humidity, and some gusty winds. Now, we're going to start the weekend rather on the cool side, struggling to get to the 60-degree mark. And then we talk about, look at that, rainfall moving in late Sunday night into early Veterans Day. Right now, we do have a weak front pushing through that's going to allow for those cooler conditions tomorrow. And we start the weekend off, as I mentioned, struggling to get to 60 degrees. Then we see the clouds rolling Sunday, and then we'll talk more about the rain moving in Sunday night. And if there's any more rain in that extended forecast coming up.
All right, thank you, Chris. I have never been so excited for possible rain before. The town of Berlin was glowing tonight as groups of walkers were decked out head to toe with glow necklaces, bracelets, and much more. As CoastTV News reporter Brendan Conroy shows us, this was all part of the town's Glow Walk, which brings the community together and promotes some good exercise.
Glow sticks, flashing glasses, and lots of light. That's how the streets of Berlin looked Friday night as the town lit up the night with their fall Glow Walk, put on by the Town Parks Commission. Kelsey Jensen participates every year.
You're getting out and you're seeing people all through the streets with light up materials and music and their kids participating. It's just a way to get people moving in the community. So not many people get out at night and walk, so it just gives you something fun to do in the off season.
Patricia Dufendock works with the Town of Berlin Parks Commission and loves seeing all the people that participate.
Usually it is families that come together with their children, and that is really the best aspect of it all.
It might be getting darker a lot earlier now, but events like this keep the night alive and even add some exercise into the nightly routine. If you were in or around downtown Berlin Friday night, this is what you would have seen. People wearing glow glasses, holding glow sticks, and all around just lighting up the night. And from the people I spoke with that took part in the Glow Walk, this seems like an event they want to happen again and again. In Berlin, Brendan Conroy, CoastTV News.
A new parking lot next to the Historical Society in Milton should double the amount of available parking downtown, about 60 spots in all. The town will lease the land from the Historical Society, and the lot will be paid for through developer impact fees, charitable remainder trust, and some grant money that will go toward making everything handicap accessible. Whether you'll have to pay to park or not, that's still up for debate.
I think it's going to be a tremendous boon to the town. I cut my hours back and don't come in on the Saturdays because people can't come in to get their haircuts because there's no place to park.
If all goes according to plan, the construction will begin in spring 2025 and be finished in the summer. The Milford Museum is inviting the public to take a sneak peek inside its future home, the former police station. Renovations are set to begin later this winter, but the open house will offer a first look at the space that will soon become Milford's new welcome center and museum. On Saturday, November 23rd, from 1 to 3, visitors can tour the building, look at renderings of the planned upgrades, and learn more about what's in store for this project. Now for some post-election news. Exit polls showed the economy was a key factor in Donald Trump's 2024 presidential election win and a major liability for the incumbent Democratic Party. Karen Kaifa reports on what's next for the U.S. economy and consumers as Donald Trump prepares to take office once again.
The economy loomed large in the 2024 presidential election.
The number one issue in this county is the economy.
I think inflation, economy, that's the big thing.
Despite low unemployment and economic growth, about 2/3 of voters described the U.S. economy as not good or poor, according to CNN exit polls.
What's happening in the economy right now and how people feel about the economy is in some ways a little bit disconnected.
Inflation has cooled from a 4-decade peak of 9.1% in June 2022 and is closer to the Fed's target rate of 2%. But the sting of higher prices has endured.
Generally speaking, it got more expensive to live your day-to-day life.
You're gonna do good. President-elect Donald Trump campaigned on reducing inflation and taxes. But Mark Zandi, chief economist for Moody's Analytics, warns too many tax cuts could boost inflation.
If they're financed by borrowing money, deficit financed, that's going to juice things up, and that causes inflation as well.
Trump's plans for tariffs on imported goods are still being fully sketched, but Jacob Channel, senior economist at LendingTree, says Trump needs to be cautious with his plans to deport millions of undocumented workers.
If you implement a bunch of tariffs while at the same time drastically reducing the United States' labor force, you're probably going to end up with higher prices.
Voter sentiment aside, Zandi says Trump will have a solid economic starting point.
He's getting a very good economy, and hopefully he's a good steward of that economy going forward.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
We're just getting started here tonight. Still ahead, extreme weather in the U.S. Fire threats raging along both coasts. But first, all the cool things to do this weekend.
And we're going to start the weekend with plenty of sunshine, much cooler than we've been. Cambridge, Crisfield seeing highs in the mid to upper 50s, but we're going to end the weekend much more wet. We'll talk more about the rain coming up a little bit later on.
As temperatures drop, FH Fur invites you to be part of something truly heartwarming. Our Fall into Comfort Toy Drive. Through December 15th for only $29, the experts at FH Fur will perform a comprehensive heating system inspection, ensuring your home stays snug through the chilly months ahead. The best part? 100% of the proceeds will go to the United States Marine Corps Reserve's Toys for Tots. Schedule your heating inspection today with FH Fur.
877-CALL-FUR. FHFur.com.
At the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division, like myself in tile, to ensure that you have the best product to fit your needs, and that your selection fits seamlessly with every element of your remodel.
I was able to look at everything that I was looking for my new kitchen, including the backsplash and the countertop and the sinks all in one place.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
It has been a long week, don't you think? Believe me, I know, with Election Day and just the usual work grind, but the weekend is finally in sight. Just honestly, about 45 more minutes until we get to the weekend. So here are some cool things to do around Delmarva. Ahead of Veterans Day on Monday, the Delaware Botanic Gardens is offering free entry for veterans if they bring a military ID, and anyone who brings a food donation for the Home of the Brave, they can get in for free as well. Don't miss the Rehoboth Beach Independent Film Festival at the Cinema Art Theater in Lewis. It runs through Sunday. Each year, the festival brings out thousands of people to view a variety of American and international films. This year is the 26th anniversary. The Delaware Beer, Wine, and Spirits Showcase celebrates 14 years this Saturday. That's at the Delaware Agricultural Museum up in Dover. You can expect tastings, food trucks, live music, and museum tours. Or you can take a day trip visiting some of Southern Delaware's most prestigious artists on Saturday. Learn about the artwork and creative process from the artists themselves and check out their studios. A Jolly bus tour will depart at 8:30 a.m. from the Home Depot in Lewis. For event details, tickets, and more, just head over to CoastTV.com and click on Cool Things to Do.
Here at North Bay Marina, we know that boaters have the most fun.
Get ready, Delmarva. Excitement and incredible savings have arrived at Gateway Subaru. Save up to $3,200 on a new 2025 Subaru Outback with financing rates as low as 1.9% for 48 months. Or save up to $2,300 off a new 2024 Subaru Crosstrek with financing rates as low as 1.9% for 48 months. And be among the first to drive the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester. Stop in and reserve yours today. Gateway Subaru, just minutes from the beaches in the heart of Delmarva. Higher standards.
In 1925, a simple bank ledger began journaling the transactions of life in Willards, Maryland. New houses, barns, and farm equipment. Growing families and businesses both big and small. A record through time of hardship and prosperity. 100 years ago, the founding of the Farmers Bank of Willards was vital to the town. 100 years later, banking has changed, but the Farmers Bank remains steadfast in its original mission, keeping and reinvesting millions of dollars right here for the benefit of our communities.
It's the perfect time to upgrade your home's comfort with Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning.
Now through December 7th, get up to $2,200 with Carrier's Cool Cash instant rebate on qualifying systems. That's right, big savings on a brand new, energy-efficient heating system. You may also be eligible for a federal tax credit up to $2,000 with a qualified system.
Get it done now and stay warm all winter long. Call Coastal Comfort or visit coastalcomfort.com, a Carrier factory authorized dealer serving Maryland and Delaware. Carrier, turn to the experts.
At East Coast Campers and More, we believe that having a camper is about enjoying the adventure, time with the family, and your escape to nature. From the buying journey to seamless setup, we've got you covered, walking you through every step, making sure you're spending the most time enjoying what's out there. If you need us after setting up, our mobile RV medics will come to you providing the highest quality of services and repairs. Come start your adventure in Frankfort, Delaware at East Coast Campers and More.
Well, I hope everyone had a spectacular week as we embark on yet another weekend here on Delmarva, and our rain streak is going to come to an end here as we push latter part of the weekend. Right now we're at 62 in Ocean City. Very dry out there. Note that dew point, 37-degree dew point. 59 currently in Seaford. We're at 58 Salisbury, 62 Rehoboth Beach, and 61 in Bethany Beach. Still seeing those winds gusting out of the north-northwest, anywhere from about 10 to 20 miles an hour. Now, we hit a high of 72 today after seeing a low of 53. Average is 61. We've been above average over the last 4 days. Record 78 set back in 2020. Well, we're 3 days away from Veterans Day as we march along here. 20 from Thanksgiving, 43 days from the first day of winter, and there you go, 47 days away from Christmas. Now, we have small craft advisories up through the weekend. Now, the fire warnings have expired, but we still have conditions conducive for fire as we head into the day tomorrow. We had wildfires breaking out across portions of Jersey, actually brush fires in Brooklyn, New York, which tell me the last time you've heard that before. Now, we have this weak front that's going to push through and allow for some cooler air. Check out this storm. Some early developing skiing season there across parts of the Rockies. They upwards of 3 feet of snow out there, but look at all this moisture pushing up into the plains. And we're going to tap into some of that later on in the weekend, and I think this streak is going to come to an end. We're at 43 right now as far as days without measurable rain, but it's not going to be enough to bust the drought. We are expecting anywhere from about, say, a quarter inch to upwards of a half an inch of rain moving in Sunday night through early Monday morning. So there you see those rain chances really ramp up by Sunday night. Most of Veterans Day is going to be actually dry, and then we're dry through midweek, and then we see another chance of rain by Thursday into Friday. We could be dealing with potentially even a coastal low by the end of the week. Clear overnight, falling into the low to mid 40s inland. Now tomorrow, wall-to-wall sunshine. Again, that fire threat still in play with highs struggling to get to the 60-degree mark. Winds gusting out of the north-northeast 10 to 15 miles an hour. Some areas could touch the 60-degree mark tomorrow, but overall a cooler day than what we've been experiencing. So clear skies, a cold start to our Sunday. Could see some mid to upper 30s across the area. We cloud up pretty quickly. I do think the rain arrives after about 5, 6 o'clock. Widespread, overspreading the region through Sunday night. Could even see some moderate rainfall overnight and then we push things out early Monday morning, and then skies clear. As I mentioned, rainfall totals generally could see a little bit over an inch and a half, as half an inch as we get into early Sunday. There goes Hurricane Raphael, really beginning to get ripped apart by wind shear. Some of this moisture could tap into the front. That's going to be moving in Sunday. Otherwise, that system is going to really fall apart over the next day. Kimberly Halkopoulos of Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, congratulations on your umbrella. There's those PM showers Sunday into your Veterans Day. We clear out Veterans Day afternoon, and then we see another chance of some measurable rain by Thursday.
Thank you, Chris. In regional news tonight, a new life-saving initiative in Kent County kicked off today. Whole blood units will now be carried on supervisor paramedic units in Kent County, giving paramedics a chance to provide trauma patients with on-site care. Now, Delaware is the first state in the country to have all ground paramedic units carrying whole blood. This began as a pilot program in Sussex and Newcastle counties, and officials say it's been quite successful.
This is an innovation that lets us deliver trauma center level care, bringing whole blood to patients to treat them early in the course of treatment, beating that golden hour.
This project is funded by more than $20,000 from the Delaware Emergency Management Agency. And as Chris was just talking about, the U.S. is dealing with raging wildfires along both the Atlantic and Pacific coasts. A mountain fire in California has already burned nearly 20,000 acres. The brush fire, which began in Ventura County, has been rapidly growing after it jumped about 14,000 acres in less than 24 hours. Several homes have already been burned, and evacuations were called on Wednesday and expanded even more on Thursday. Heavy winds have fanned the flames as it's now approaching Santa Paula. According to CAL FIRE, more than 1 million acres have burned in wildfires since the start of the year. Compared to this point in last year, there was only about 308 acres burned so far. And this is not just California. Not far from us here on Delmarva, a wildfire is tearing through parts of New Jersey and continuing to threaten several homes in the area. According to the New Jersey Forest Fire Service, firefighters have been working around the clock on a backfiring operation in order to get ahead of the fires, to slow it in advance and help contain the blaze. Falling leaves, changing winds, and extremely dry conditions have created some challenges. Officials gave their update on their progress, saying evacuation orders have been lifted, and they do believe they have a strong hold on the fires right now.
We have two major fires that took off today on us, and then we have one that's still going from yesterday. We have the fire up in Jackson Township, up in Ocean County, and that fire is 350 acres with 60% containment. We still do have some structures threatened. However, all the evacuations have been lifted and the folks have returned to their homes. And we have the other fire over in Gloucester County, Clayton Borough. It's in the Glassboro Wildlife Management Area. That fire is 133 acres and 35% contained. There's no structures threatened or anything like that that we need to be concerned with as far as for the public's sake.
There has been a red flag warning posted for the entire state of New Jersey, same as there was in Delaware today until 6 p.m. Coming up, cannabis concerns. New research warns of serious risks from using cannabis while you're pregnant.
Well, if you're starting your weekend off with a little golf, it's going to be sunny, but it's going to be a lot chillier than what we've been experiencing over the last 3 to 4 days. Highs only in the upper 50s with breezy conditions. We'll have a look at that 10-day forecast here in a few moments.
The Today Show, weekdays at 7 on CoastTV.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread, topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce. But don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
Hey, what's he doing over at Miss Claudette's?
fill your home with happiness this Thanksgiving. Shell Brothers.
Protecting my family is my top priority. When I noticed ants outside of my home, I called Rice's and they sent a technician right away. He recommended their fall defense program, which saved me $50 on my first service. He also told me about their year-round home protection programs that are backed by their Rice Return Guarantee. So if pests return, so do they, for free. The savings are great, but the peace of mind knowing my home is protected is priceless.
Visit Rice's Termite and Pest Control today at delmarvasbestpestcontrol.com.
At BSD, we're often asked, what is the most important investment of your home? It's your windows and your kitchen. Our Anderson window experts will help you choose and install the perfect budget-friendly replacements. Anderson windows from BSD will improve energy efficiency and curb appeal. Anderson is the #1 trusted window and door brand, backed by the best warranty in the industry. Visit one of our design studios to bring your dream kitchen to life. From inspiration to installation, BSD has you covered.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a premium.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
New this week, Purdue Agribusiness has expanded the area they are conducting testing for PFAS, or forever chemicals, in groundwater at properties near their Salisbury facility. You can see that expanded area on your screen right now. 307 more homes have been added. For some background, in October, Purdue revealed it discovered elevated levels of these forever chemicals at its facility on Zion Church Road. In response, Purdue began mailing out letters to nearby homes offering to conduct tests on their groundwater. Testing started on October 14th. On November 5th, Purdue sent out new letters saying they had begun receiving results from those tests showing elevated levels, which, according to Purdue, led to an expansion of the testing zone further west of the facility. The source of the PFAS has yet to be determined. Going just a little bit further away now, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said today his government would introduce legislation this month that would ban social media for children under 16 years old. Australia is already testing an age verification system to assist in blocking children from accessing social media. That's part of a range of measures that include some of the toughest controls imposed by any country concerning the access of young people to social media. A growing number of countries have already vowed to curb social media use by children through legislation, although Australia's proposed policy would be one of the most strict. The laws would not come into effect until 12 months after being ratified by lawmakers. Well, it's the most commonly used federally illegal drug in the U.S. Results from the 2021 National Survey on Drug Use and Health show more than 52 million people used cannabis at least once that year. As laws around this drug are loosening in some states, researchers are putting out a warning about use during pregnancy. In today's in today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on a new study and the risks facing pregnant people who use cannabis.
It's a drug that continues to be prevalent. In the U.S., at least 24 states have legalized recreational cannabis, but the concern for this drug still looms.
I think sometimes people think that because cannabis comes from a plant, that must be safe. And that just really isn't the case at all.
Sarah Kime with Nationwide Children's Hospital is lead author of a study on the effects of cannabis exposure in pregnancy. Of the children studied who had prenatal exposure to the drug, researchers found many had both cognitive and behavioral impacts.
On average, had more difficulty controlling their impulses and paying attention. They had poorer planning ability and also had a higher likelihood of exhibiting more aggressive behavior than the children who were not exposed to cannabis prenatally.
Kime says a growing number of people are turning to cannabis for issues like nausea, sleep problems, stress, and depression. Those issues are common in pregnancy, but she says using cannabis to relieve them poses risks to the person pregnant as well.
I think it's important that patients know that there are better and safer alternatives to deal with those common problems than cannabis.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Listen to 93.5 The Beach, Delmarva's rock station.
The Toyota RAV4 Legacy is earned as the best-selling SUV in America. Designed with the capabilities and comfort to tame the trail or road. Right now, get a RAV4 with low 3.99% APR.
This is my legacy.
Toyota, let's go places.
11/11. It's a date easy to remember. For Veterans Day savings you won't forget. Through Veterans Day Monday at Johnny Janosic, get the area's guaranteed lowest prices. Then choose 0% APR financing for 3 years, or take an extra 15% off for cash. Get this gorgeous 3-piece outdoor sectional, now only $1188.95. Or this beautiful 7-piece dining set, only $599.95. Save big, now through Monday, 11/11. Only at Johnny Janosic.
If you've inherited a home or have a distressed property that you just want to be done with, then call me, Delmarva Dave. I buy houses. The process is simple. I'll make you a fast cash offer and close in 30 days so you can just move on. No agents, no showings, no repairs, and no stress. It really is that simple when you work with a professional home buyer like me, Delmarva Dave. I'll make selling your home a breeze.
At the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division like myself in cabinetry to ensure that you have the best product to fit your needs. And your selection fits seamlessly with every element of your project.
It was very important to find somebody that was knowledgeable in the whole picture, the cabinetry, the appliances, and the countertop. We are delighted with the outcome.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
No strangers here, just friends you haven't met yet. With comfortable outdoor seating and an authentic Irish bar, Irish Eyes in Milton is a local favorite by the Broadkill River. Irish Eyes in Lewis with ample free parking, a gorgeous waterfront patio, extensive menu favorites, and the best happy hour on the water. Book our Lewis room for all of life's celebrations. With a lovely panoramic view, in-house chef, and a professional team to make your next event one to remember. Find out more at irisheyespub.com.
Take a look at your screen and meet Bo, who was just crowned the winner of the 14th Annual American Humane Hero Dog Award. The nationwide competition recognizes standout dogs in 5 categories. Bo was the finalist in the law enforcement and first responder category. He's been part of the Gastonia Police Department since April 2023. Some of his achievements include locating an autistic child who had gone missing and finding another child who had been taken at knife point. Bo and the other 4 finalists will be honored at an awards ceremony early next year.
Very nice. And we are seeing some chilly conditions out there this evening. We're at 62 in Ocean City. Starry skies overnight as we fall into the lower 50s at the coast, but we will see temperatures generally in the mid-40s away from the coast overnight. A much cooler Saturday, highs in the 50s and 60s, and we are tracking rainfall by later Sunday. There you see by tomorrow afternoon, highs struggling to get to the 60-degree mark, but we will see plenty of sunshine throughout the day, and you can get that forecast at any time by calling our First Alert Weather phone. Now, your Paul Davis 10-day shows rain moving in late Sunday through Monday. Veterans Day looking very nice by the afternoon, and then we see another bout of rain moving in by Thursday. Christina.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, you can download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next, and we'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great Friday night.